Thank you, Thank you, Sumit, for the wonderful introduction. And as Sumit mentioned, that we have a theme called a new beginning. Every new beginnings comes from some beginnings end, and each new beginnings brings new challenges and opportunities. We have just completed a term, EC term, that got completed on 30th June, and we have a new EC in place. I must acknowledge that last EC has done a wonderful job. I take this opportunity to thank all the past EC members as well as the current EC members, because of the effort of the team, we are President Distinguished Club now. A club becomes President Distinguished Club when 9 out of 10 goals are achieved. And in our case, we achieved all the 10 goals. And thanks to Sourindra sir, who gave us the 10th goal on the last day itself, that is 30th June in our last meeting. We added few energetic and passionate members in the club in the last year. And I must tell you that because of that, level of our club has certainly gone up. I really always look forward to join this meeting, and in case I miss this meeting, I actually regret that I couldn't join it. Now, when I say that we have to accomplish 10 out of 10 goals, 9 out of 10 goals to become President Distinguished Club, there are 4 categories of goal that we have. The first category of goal is education goals. In this, we have 6 goals. So some members have to achieve level 1, then few members have to achieve level 2, level 3. So these are the 6 goals. Now, the second category of goal is membership goals, that we need to add certain members in our club every year and retain certain members. The third category of goal is training goals, and so 4 out of 7 EC members, 4 members have to complete TLI 1 training and TLI 2 trainings, and the last goal is the administration goal, that is related to payments of membership fees. While I say that most of the last 2 goals is the responsibility of EC members, but the first 2 goal is the responsibility of everybody, that is education goal as well as the membership goal. So we should work collectively to get this goal achieved. I have no doubt that this year also we will be President Distinguished Club again, because the kind of talent pool we have in our club, I have certainly no doubts. Most of the organization these days are adopting agile methodology. Agile, and I would also like to adopt agile in our club. So what is agile? While agile may be a broader term, but there is a subset of agile, a branch of agile, that is called Kaizen. Kaizen means a mindset and a practice of improving through innovation and evolution. Now, we have adopted certain agile practices without realizing that these are agile practices. For example, starting meeting well on time, online publication of our certificates. So it cuts down all the inefficiencies in the process, and that is what agile is. Going forward, I would love to see that our club adopts agile methodology formally, and certainly it will help us to improve further. While more on this a little later, it's time for me to introduce you with the format of the meeting. A typical Toastmaster meeting has 3 sections. First section is about prepared speeches, and today we have 3 speakers today, and coincidentally all are from US. So in prepared speeches section, prepared speakers will come on stage and speak for 5 to 7 minutes. The second section is all about table topic. Our table topic section is today headed by Amit Tandon. In this particular section, volunteers as well as the guests will be invited to come on stage and speak for 1 to 2 minutes on a given topic. And third section is all about evaluation section, which is headed by our general evaluator, Madam Joyita. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to our general evaluator, Joyita. Joyita, if you could come on virtual stage and introduce your team as well as your role. Over to you, Joyita.
Hello everyone, and very good morning to everyone. So I will I will read out the script for the timer, counter, and the grammarian, where I will mention the role of them. So timer, as of now, I know that is Sumangal, but I couldn't see him, and our counter is Noha, and grammarian is Jim. So for as a part of timer role, a prepared speech is timed for 5 to 7 minutes, and timer will show the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either sides. I request speech evaluators to let the timer know the timing for the particular speech. For the table topics, each of the speaker is required to speak 1 to 2 minutes, and timer will show the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 20 minutes. Table topic speaker would get also the grace period of 30 seconds on the plus side. The speech evaluator are allotted 2 to 3 minutes of the evaluation. The green card will be shown at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. And there is a grace period of 30 seconds at both the sides. Now, moving on to the role of our counter, that our counter will count the filler words, scratches, causes, and interruption in the speeches, which distract the attention of the audience. They reduce the impact of the speech. And filler words would be like, I mean, right, well, so, er. So we need to avoid during our speeches. Now, I'd like to move on to the role for grammarian. Jim is the grammarian for today's meeting. He will be noting down the good usages, not so good usages of the language, as well as the grammatical error that made by the speaker during the speech. So, and at the end of this, and I'd request Jim, can you please provide the word of the day?
Thank you. So the word of the day is frozen, a sudden shiver of excitement or fear, a brief sensation or feeling as of excitement, fear, or pleasure, often accompanied by a shudder or a shiver. How do we use this word in a sentence? The story's ending arouses a frisson of terror. I felt a frisson just as they were about to announce the winner of the international speech contest. And I always have a frisson when I know Elyssa will be giving a speech. Back to you, Judge, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Jim. And at the end of our speeches and the table topics, we will be having that the evaluation section where all the members will come back and they will present their report. And at the end of that, I'll present my report. Over to you, Timur. Kapil. Kapil, you there?
Okay, sorry. Okay. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, for explaining your role in detail. Now it's time for me to introduce our section number 1, which is prepared speakers. And our first speaker today is Elyssa Schneider. And I see that you named yourself as speaker number 1, but I'm going by the agenda. And there it is mentioned that speaker number 1 is Elyssa. So Elyssa will be evaluated by Sourindra Bhowmick. And the project name of Elyssa is Presentation Mastery. And she is going to give a speech on a topic of what is in a name. She is attempting evaluation and feedback for speech. So Elyssa, Oh, what is in a name? Oh, what is in a name? Elyssa.
A few months before being born, you were labeled. Your parents sat down, their eyes gleaming with anticipation as they opened up the baby book, better known as Google search. I can hear your mother now. Darling, we are going to find the most rapturous name that ever was. I want it to be unique and unequaled. Such a brilliant plan. Whatever went wrong? Well, rapturous name met English language, and unique and unequaled became unpronounceable. Now, perhaps you were blessed with an easy name, such as Ruchita or Anita, Rupi or Shiva, but I guarantee you the rest of us were not so fortunate. Consider, for instance, this dubious designation. Can you imagine poor Anirudh's first day at the job in an English-speaking country? Why, hello, Anirudha. Come on in. Was that? You're not Anirudha? Well, I wouldn't say you're rude. You're quite on time. Annie rude? No, sir. I think any rude people ought to be fired. Oh my goodness, why, bless your heart. You mean your name is Ani Rude? I'll be sure and get that right next time. And of course, he never will. The score is 1-0. The English language takes the lead. Show of hands if you've ever had to explain your name. Anybody? There's a few of you. Do you know what God calls it? Teaching patience without one drop of sweat. In fact, over the course of your lifetime, you will meet approximately 10,000 people. And assuming half the time your name is mispronounced, you will offer 5,000 corrections. Oh, but don't worry. You know what they say. Practice makes perfect. Either way, the score is 5-0. The English language beams with sheer delight. Upon my epic, shall we say, illustrious entrance into this world, more like catastrophic, I received this designation. I know, what a beautiful name, right? Elyssa. Elyssa. Well, don't be fooled. The pronunciation is deceptive. Toastmasters around the globe have undergone the challenge and crumpled in defeat. See for yourself.
Je voudrais appeler sur scène à mon amie Elyssa. Up next for table topics, we'll call on Elyssa. How do you pronounce your name? I want to get it right. Elyssa? It's Elyssa. Elyssa. And now I'd like to ask our guest, Elyssa, what did you think of the meeting? I give up.
And what would you do? It's pointless. The score is 10-0. The English language has zoomed off the earth and is headed for intergalactic space. It's over, folks. What's in a name? Is that a quote by Shakespeare or Shakespeare? You know what? It doesn't matter. I hate to admit this, but I think he's right. That which we call a name arose by any other name would smell this sweet. And it's true. In the end, what does it matter if the world wins and the English language twists around the vowels and consonants of your name? Because ultimately, if you allow it, your character, your essence will shine so brightly. People will remember you long after they've forgotten pronunciations. Your hairdresser will reminisce about those humorous anecdotes you shared to brighten their day. Your Toastmaster cohorts, they'll remember your meaningful evaluations with heartfelt gratitude. And your coworkers, well, they may never get it right, but they will marvel at having met such a unique, unequaled, and unforgettable individual such as yourself. So here's to you, whatever your name may be, because ultimately it's not what's in a name or how it's pronounced that matters, but who it belongs to that makes all the difference. Now, having said that, who's to say you can't have it all? I was about to forfeit. I mean, defeat was imminent. And that's when I realized the answer had been staring us in the face all along. What do they teach us in Toastmasters? Presentation? Mastery? Well, we'll just make it presentation insanity. Equipped with my trusty PowerPoint, colorfic backgrounds, and mesmerizing fonts, I headed for the zone. This was it. Sink or swim, do or die, name or be named. On behalf of every person who's ever been mispronounced, I would make this a rhyme to remember. First, I started with several Toastmasters I knew. Sourindra. Sourindra rhymes with Jack Sparrow. Sourindra, Jack Sparrow. Jovial Sourindra challenged Jack Sparrow to a round of table topics. With a quick sudden flurry, he tossed him a query, and this pirate ran off to the tropics. Next, we had couple. Couple rhymes with truffle. Couple, truffle. Learn from sweet couple who brought his one truffle to a toast meeting in Toastmasters. Sadly, it vanished, and suddenly famished, he cried, it was Sheila, the Zoom stalker. Last but not least, we had Elyssa. Elyssa rhymes with alopecia. Elyssa, alopecia. Learn from Elyssa, lover of pizza, who tried using humor to make Toastmasters laugh. Her head got so hot, she developed alopecia. And as proof, here's the photograph. English language, hear me when I say that unpronounceable just became unforgettable. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Wow, Elyssa, amazing. That is what we call agile. Innovation and improvement every time you come on stage. Okay, now let's give 1 minute to the audience to write feedback for Elyssa.
You are on mute.
Okay, it's time for me to invite our speaker number 2, Sheila. Sheila is attempting her path, research and presenting. And her title is, Will That Be Plastic? Sheila will be evaluated by our evaluator, Farooq. So let me invite our second speaker, Sheila. Sheila, will that be a plastic? Will that be plastic, Sheila?
Good morning, good evening, Toastmasters. That is a hard act to follow. Whew. Mine is not humorous. I apologize up front. However, mine is a research topic, and I'm going to start off with about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. I embarked on a journey that I did not choose. It was one where I dealt with crippling fatigue, digestion issues, double over cramps, and brain fog that you wouldn't believe. The fatigue was so bad that there were times on the weekend I would sleep for almost 36 hours non-stop. Crazy is not even the word. Numerous test after test, nothing showed up. I was distraught, didn't know what to do. Through process of elimination, I was able to figure out that I had a gluten allergy or sensitivity. Gluten is that stuff that makes your food taste yummy. The pizza that's fluffy has lots of gluten in it. That was the stuff I was allergic to. Unfortunately, while it helped to a great degree, it didn't solve my whole entire problem, and I still struggle with fatigue and brain fog, among other things. As I'm still on this journey to find out what is exactly going on with my body, it has been suggested that I do an elimination diet. That started today. Elimination diet means top allergens that people struggle with are removed from the diet. Things like beef and pork and dairy and corn and sugar and soy and dairy, all those amazing things have been taken out of my diet and will be introduced in about a month, one by one. Hopefully this will help, I hope. This, in combination with an article I read a couple of weeks ago, got me to thinking, why is it that there are so many people who are allergic to foods? After all, I don't remember years ago people having this many allergies. Yet so many struggle with these top allergens and even some others that I didn't mention. In this article, one of the things that was talked about, and I'll talk about the article a little bit more in detail later on, but one of the things that they talked about in the article was genetically modified organisms and genetically modified foods. Is there a connection? Is there a connection between the rise in genetically modified foods and the number of people who have allergies? That is a question I do wonder. Is that why more people are sick? Because we have more genetically modified foods? Certainly my interest is piqued. When you start thinking about genetically modified organisms, the first one was introduced in the early 1970s. In a survey that was listed on WebMD, 40,000 adults were surveyed. 1 in 10 had an allergy. But only 1 in 20 with a convincing food allergy have a doctor-confirmed diagnosis. The top allergens, according to WebMD, are milk, peanut, tree nut, shellfish, soy, fish, sesame, and egg. Some of these items, some of these foods are actually genetically modified. So what is genetically modified? What is genetic engineering? It can be done with plants, animals, bacteria, or even very small organisms. They allow scientists to move one gene from a plant to an animal, or from an animal to a plant, or a variety of things that may ensue. According to Medline Plus, these genetic engineered items, which began in the early 1990s with a tomato called the Flavor Saver, Medline Plus says that these genetic engineering techniques allow scientists to move desired genes from one plant into an animal or into another, or vice versa, I apologize. Genetic engineering, the wave of the future. Some say it causes our food to be more nutritious. Others say longer food lasting. When you go to the store, you don't have all those rotten foods. They last longer. Plants are disease resistant, drought resistant, less use of pesticides. Who can go wrong with any of these things? But the non-GMO project states this, and it's a little bit longer quote, but it's worth noting. Interesting. It says, more than 80% of all genetically modified crops grown worldwide have been engineered for herbicide tolerance. As a result, the use of toxic herbicides such as Roundup has increased 15-fold since GMOs, genetically modified organisms, were first introduced. In March 2015, the World Health Organization determined that the herbicide glyphosate, the key ingredient in Roundup, is probably carcinogenic or harmful to humans. Genetically modified crops are responsible for the emergence of superweeds and superbugs, which can only be killed. This is the interesting part, especially, which can only be killed with ever more toxic poisons, such as 2,4-D, a major ingredient in Agent Orange. That scares me. To think that that kind of things that we are looking to create in our plants is actually causing harmful ingredients in our bodies. So not everything is rosy with these particular crops. Allergic reactions, toxic reactions are totally fathomable. Even unexpected or harmful genetic changes. I really do indeed think that this could be, since we started in the early 90s, widespread acceptance of GMOs and GM foods. It's very possible these are the fruits of that particular thing happening in the world. We are getting sicker. This article that I mentioned at the beginning of my speech is what really felt to me as though we had gone off the rails. They genetically modified E. coli bacteria to change the structure of these plastic bottles, to change it into a substance called vanillin. That is a synthetic form of vanilla. Coming to a store near you, possibly one of these plastic bottles will be added to your foods in the form of vanillin. Surprisingly, in that same article in The Guardian, 85% of our vanillin, synthetic vanilla, comes from fossil fuels. Either way, that is a really crazy thought. How have we gotten to the place where our foods or additives are made from fossil fuels or plastic bottles? The verdict is out as to whether these particular GMOs are causing sicknesses, but certainly chemical agriculture is being driven by our chemical companies. They say it's safe. Of course, they're going to say it's safe. To say anything less will hurt their bottom line profits. So next time you're in line, will it be vanilla or plastic? Over to you.
Thank you, Sheila. Very informative speech, Sheila, I must tell you. Let's give 1 minute to the audience to write feedback for Sheila. Okay, time up. Now it's time to invite our third speaker, Anna. Anna will be evaluated by Raj, but I don't see Raj.
I will evaluate Anna Kapil. If Raj comes in, I'll give him the evaluation.
Okay, so Anna now she will be evaluated by Rupinder. Anna is attempting level 4 visionary communication and project is communicate change. Anna, must we go back? Must we go back, Anna?
Our eyes met, just for a moment. We glanced uneasily. The room was getting darker. A sort of smile only ensued the awkwardness even more. What were we supposed to do? What social standing were we in? How are we going to get out of this conundrum? Our world is facing this every single day now. That's right. We are now in a point of what is considered post-COVID. Our expectation? To overcome that social awkwardness all over again. That's right, folks. We have just gone back in time and puberty has hit us again on how to be socially acceptable. Not to mention that we are forced to smile at people because we no longer have a mask hiding our face in so many different places. But let's talk about this change and how it's affecting every single one of us. For many people, it's a fear of being out in public again, even being put into a place of work. So many people have lost lives to this pandemic or almost lost loved ones due to carelessness. So for us to be concerned with going back to work, that's a concern for anyone. Not only is it a fear and anxiety for so many people just to step foot into a place of business again, let's talk about the fact that you've been working from home for a year. Now you have to get up, shower, please get dressed appropriately, make sure your kids are taken care of, make sure you have food planned, drive all the way to distance, and now we've got extra traffic because there's extra people on the roads. It's a huge alteration. What about social parties? I mean, we're now in a part of where we can be in parties more than 6, less than 6 feet distance from people. I mean, I'm even getting hugs. How am I supposed to accept this? I've spent a year in this world where we have had nothing but social distancing. But let me tell you, the frisson of getting back into this entire environment to see each other and be able to actually high five someone is pretty exciting. And companies have done well to adapt to this adjustment. Many companies still have protective barriers in many of our stores in this area. This is to protect the employees and the customers. While we aren't mandated to wear masks anymore, many people still keep within the social distancing 6 feet range when you're in the store. Stores still provide hand sanitizer and wipe down on a regular basis to keep germs from going about. Businesses have in fact found that therapy should be offered to anyone who's having fears of going out in public. Many of them are still able to do teleconferencing, but have the ability to give every single person the confidence to be able to face the public again. And the best part about it, something I've said from the very beginning, is that we've now been able to see the strong survive. The businesses who have worked to prove themselves as a compatible business to any sort of fortitude is actually making it on its own. So where does that leave us? It's time for us to build new habits, new relationships, adapt to what is the past pre-COVID, what's happened with COVID, and of course, what's happening now. We have new opportunities, and one of them happens right now. Me, sitting in Texas, in the United States of America, talking to all of you amazing people in India and around the world. Zoom meetings will not cease. In fact, they may still increase because of the amount of time and capabilities that we've been able to have. Now, to tell you a little secret, I went on a date on Sunday. As we were sitting and talking, he said, "Oh, I have a meeting I need to jump into." My first question is, "Oh, is it a Zoom meeting?" That extended our date by 30 minutes because he didn't have to run and get ready. He just had to throw a shirt on, pop up his computer, and he was ready to go. And those of us who have seen the businesses close, see companies suffer, families torn apart, people on the streets, it actually gives us an opportunity to face the change and the alteration of where our focus and priorities lie. While most of us are so accustomed being at home and stepping out into a strange world is a new opportunity, it gives us the ability to make new relationships, to find new friendships. In fact, secretly, I'm excited to see what happens with the divorce rate in the world. We've been stuck at home, either by yourself as a single person or with your loved one for a year. If that's not a true test of marriage, I don't know what is. And for some of us who are still single, dating is becoming quite a difficulty. I think I forgot how to say hi. Now, if I didn't explain the story at the beginning well enough, I was in a movie theater, sitting by myself watching a movie, when an elderly couple came to cross paths with me. I glanced in their direction. I gave them a smile. And as they passed me, I heard the wife say, "I don't even know what to do in this circumstance anymore. Do I put a mask on? All I'm doing is crossing in front of someone who's sitting and watching a movie." The world has changed. Many of us are still scared. Many of us are still getting vaccinations to be able to be safe. However, we as opportunists, we as people who have embraced the change, are able to be strong and survive, and this encourages us to make the most of our priorities. So how are you going to embrace the change? How are you going to start seeing the world in its post-COVIDness? Back to you.
Thank you, Anna. You articulated the real picture of the words very well. Let's give 1 minute to the audience to write feedback for Anna. Thank you. All right, so coming back to the new beginning again, the first step towards getting somewhere is to decide you are not going to stay where you are. Are we going to remain content with the President Distinguished Club status when we know that we have huge potential to achieve more? I'm throwing a challenge for all of us to make this club recipient of Golden Gavel Award this year. This won't be easy, but won't be difficult either. There are few things that we need to do to get Golden Gavel Award. Now, it has few criterias like contest management, which means that judges training. So 3 members needs to be trained on judging. It's a very doable task, I feel. Judging support, at least 1 judge sent to another club or area or division meet. Again, very doable. Planning moments of truth and club succession plan. This is more of an admin related job, so EC can handle this. Pathways. So there are criteria like at least 45% of the people should have completed level 1 by so and so date. And similarly, regarding membership retention, 60% membership retention in the second term. So again, this is related to the earlier goal that we discussed in President Distinguished Club membership. Membership growth, again, we all want to grow, and we also want that our club should grow with time. So there is a membership goal assigned, membership growth goal that is assigned in this goal, that add 10 new members in the year or achieve 1 Toastmaster International Membership Award, which is Medley Award, Talk Up Toastmasters, or Beat the Clock. What are these awards? Again, so there are few dates, like for Medley Award, August 1st to September 30th, Talk Up Speaker, Talk Up Toastmasters, February 1st to 31st March, and Beat the Clock, May 1st to 30th June. So one needs to add few members. I guess it is 5 new members or dual member, or reinstate the old members. So once we do that, we will be eligible to get this Golden Gavel Award. And I genuinely think that we can do this. So let's strive to get this award this year, because I feel that we can definitely be a President Distinguished Club, but we can achieve more in this year. Now it's time for me to introduce you with a section number 2, which is our table topics. Our table topic section is headed by our table topic master, Amit Tandon. So Amit, I would like to invite you to begin your table topic section. Over to you, Amit.
Thank you so much, Kapil. So let's begin with the table topic section for today. As our first speaker, I would like to invite the newest member of our club, Toastmaster Pratima. Can we have you spotlighted?
Hello, Ahmed. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Am I audible?
Yes. Toastmaster Pratima, your topic for today is your reaction to your first Toastmaster meeting.
All right. Thank you. Shall I start speaking?
Yeah.
So I would like to talk about my 2 reactions, specifically because I have been to the physical setup of a Toastmasters, which was like 8 years back. So I vividly remember my reaction, which was a sense of amazement, because I met so many wonderful people over there with their wonderful speeches. So it was a sense of amazement. I found it as a great place for learning, right? And apart from all that, I also felt that it was a great platform for incorporating humor. I could see a lot of members incorporating humor, whether it was their prepared speech or whether it was an impromptu speech. So I thought that was something like really to learn, because, you know, one can always speak on the spot. It's fairly okay to speak on the spot or to speak as a prepared speech, but to add humor, I felt it was really nice. And I felt I was in amazement, in a lot of awe. And in fact, I laughed so much. I remember laughing so much on the first day that I almost fainted. I almost fainted. I was literally like physically not well, and there was like a lot of churning in my stomach. And then the entire admin, the team, they had to actually, take me in their car and, make sure that they drop me to my house. So I can never forget that first reaction, which was like very much physical, also apart from just emotional. And I think today would be my second reaction, right? Because that was the physical one, and today is the online presence. And I heard a lot of speeches so far, and I think the speeches have been wonderful. And I'm really, it's the same reaction with, the amazement still continues. And I'm amazed how the speakers, they are incorporating wonderful speeches. And, despite the platform being online, they are using their body language. Like I can see a lot of speakers speaking and how they're engaging with their eyes. I think that's like really fascinating. And that's my reaction for this the second meeting which I've attended, which is an online meeting. And like, when do I have to stop? Like, how would I know? Like I've spoken more than a minute. I can't see anyone. Have I spoken 1 minute? Is it done? Okay. Thank you, everyone. And I'm really, really looking forward to learning from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratima, for wonderfully packaging your experience at Toastmasters. Can I have Toastmaster Hope Williams spotlighted?
Yes.
Toastmaster Hope, the topic for you is your first day in school.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. My first day at school. That's very open-ended because there's no grade or school given. So let me say my first day in the school of life. The school of life when I decided to leave home and move to Washington, D.C. That was my first day in the school of life as a adulting in the real world. And it was fabulous until I realized I have to do everything myself. There's no one to do the washing up. There's no one to wash my clothes. There's no one to unscrew the light bulb. It's just me. So I said, I must learn how to work this thing called life. I went to a neighbor's house for a wine opener. 6 months later, I realized that neighbor was my boyfriend's parents. So that also taught me, you never know who you meet in the school of life. I remember calling my mother saying, how do I get the stain out of this white shirt? Because I was so used to having it cleaned. That was my research paper for the school of life. So really, I've turned this into all of life is my school. And I'm just looking to learn because I'm often stumped and unaware how to pass the test to gain entry into the next grade. So I welcome all of you to help me get an A in this school of life. Sir Toastmaster.
That was wonderfully done, Hope. My next topic is for Ahmad. Ahmad, can we have you spotlighted?
Yes, sure. Hi.
Yeah, Ahmad, the topic for you is every moment is a fresh beginning.
Well, for me, that is true. I'm a person who, with the speech disorder, I stammer. So for most of my life, I was not able to speak in front of people. But there was a defining moment, a time when I decided that enough is enough. I have to stand up, and because we live once, and I have to live to the fullest, and I have to do what I want to do, and I have to make my dreams come true. So from there, from that moment, I started, and that was a new beginning for me. With my fellow Toastmasters, I've founded PSF Toastmasters Club. This is a special club in the Toastmasters universe. This is the 4th club in the world and the first club in Asia that is dedicated to people with stammering or having speech disorders or having social anxiety or phobia. So from there, started, and just after 2 months, I won a 3rd position in the speech evaluation contest, and the journey continues. Now I'm not only helping myself, but I'm also helping people facing with speech issues. And now each day is a new beginning for me. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your experience, Ahmed. That was wonderfully done. I would now like to call upon Toastmaster Bob Kenny. Can we have you spotlighted, please?
I mean, she had to log off. It was getting a little late, but thank you so much for thinking of her.
Okay, okay. So can we have Toastmaster Raj Mehta? I believe he's, yeah.
Hi, Amit. Good morning.
Good morning, Toastmaster Raj. The topic for you, Toastmaster, is your first reaction to when you saw your child walking for the first time.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, he's walking. Suman, Suman, come here. See, Rupal is walking. See, Rupal is walking. See, please come. You must not miss this. You must not miss this. Come here. I went to my wife in the bathroom where she was washing clothes. I picked her up and said, come to the room, our bedroom, where my daughter was walking. And these were her first steps. And the happiness we had at that moment. My wife said, oh my God, she has started walking. Oh my God, she has started walking. This Tuesday, I shall go to a temple and distribute prasad on account of Hanumanji, one of our god of gods. And that moment has remained in my life till now. Because today, Rubal is 26 years old, and she has been growing, of course, and learning a lot of things, not only from the other world, but the Toastmaster world as well. When sometimes we talk about this moment, she just wonders that why was this much excitement at the time of her walking or her first step? Because the feeling which we had, she cannot have it. And then I told her that it is the love of the parents for children. And once you will get married and you will also have children, then only you will be able to understand that what is the moment of when you see your child walking for the first time. And this moment has remained in my memory for long, and it will never go. I still remember I have a gift from my daughter Rubal when she was 3, and this is the gift. If you can see, it is a Barbie doll. Just imagine, this gift was given to me around 22 years back, and I'm still having it. I have not lost it. And this is the memory which Rubal still keeps in her, that her father is maintaining her memories as well as her gifts. And this is, I think, the moment which I will never forget. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raj. That was wonderfully done. Can we have Toastmaster Sarika spotlighted?
Amit, I cannot be spotlighted because I'm driving and talking. Is it okay?
I think that is fine. So the topic for you, Sarika, is obstacles of your past can become gateways that lead to new beginnings.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Obstacles of your past can become gateways to new learnings.
Okay, obstacles of the past can become the gateways to my new learning.
Right.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and dear friends. When I was pursuing my master's, I always had a thought that I would never be able to do a doctorate degree in English. Given my financial condition, I always thought I will end up being a manager or a vice president in a corporate world and not pursue my academic dream of having a doctorate degree. 12 years down the line, somehow, due to personal reasons, I changed my line of career to the academic world. And I thought, after 12 years, am I really eligible to pursue a doctorate degree in English language? I have forgotten the literature, I had forgotten language, phonetics, whatever I have learned in my master's. 20 years down the line, at this point in time, I went back. I revised the entire syllabus of my master's, and I thought, let me give it a shot. But all those mistakes were not repeated when I sat for the second time. And I firmly believe the mistakes you do in the past is a stepping stone and a gateway to your learning. Over to Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. Toastmaster Jim, can we have you spotlighted?
Okay.
Toastmaster Jim, the topic for you is be willing to be a beginner every single morning.
What goes through your mind the minute you wake up? The minute I wake up, I'm thinking, today is a new day. What can I change? How can I be creative? And that was the mentality I woke up to every morning before work. Then when I get into work, I'm very energetic. I look at things, what can we trim down? Because bureaucracy has a habit of building rather than cutting out the old stuff. We used to have something called standing orders, standard operating procedures. And we have a hierarchy of these from the headquarters down to district, down to division. And every day my mission was to go through one chapter of this enormously huge manual that everybody is supposed to follow and just cut out all the duplication. If it's in the headquarter one, why is it in mine as a division commander? So I would cut that out. Any references that are already in a higher tier doesn't have to be in mine. And through the year, I managed to whittle down this size to this size and things that we would really do, not theory type things. So that helps to keep focus on what is important to you and to the organization. And what is the result? You have a lot of time to think of creative ways to handle what is new, what is happening now, what is the real world situation now that we need to overcome and come up with some protocols for. So to save your time in the future, see what you can pair off in your procedures, in your daily life, in the workplace. Just pare it down, declutter. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jim. Khushboo, can we have you spotlighted? Toastmaster Khushboo.
Yes.
Toastmaster Khushboo, your reaction to when you got your first job.
Jobs were not meant for me because I was not meant for jobs. I was supposed to get married. But in order to evade marriage, I landed up getting a job. That job which I landed up with was not supposed to go with my degree and my profession, what I achieved, what I aimed for, but I landed up with the job. I had to stick through the job at least 2 years so that I can evade marriage. But destiny had different plans and I got the job, which changed my life because I grew both as a professional. I realized what were my potential. I realized what are the areas where I can do really well. And I came to know that I was so good in administration and management. And within a span of 5 years from an executive, I was promoted as the HR head. So my reaction to my job was, wow, sometimes you land up with things which you are not there, which you have not planned for, but it was meant for you because you were supposed to change the path which you have designed for yourself, but there is someone up big there who has already designed the path for you. So follow the path. So it's important to flow with the flow of life, and universe gives you directions and helps you to realize your dreams, and probably certain times much better dreams or much better achievements which you have never thought of that you can do it. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khushboo. That was very well done. With that, I would like to end our table topic session and hand it over back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kapil Kakkar.
Thank you, Ahmad. Very well done. And all the participants, everybody spoke very well on the given topics. Now, what else we can do for our club?
Point of order, Kapil. 3 things. I'm sorry to interrupt. One, if we could take a group picture. I'm just switching to gallery view. I just request everybody to please turn on their cameras and maybe do this, live long and prosper. This sort of a salute. Yeah, that makes sense. Jim, yes, please, everyone, please turn it on. Turn on your cameras and do this gesture. Yes, live long and prosper. While I take a screenshot. After this, I will launch the polls for the best speaker and the best table topic speaker. Kapil, you can continue, but right now I'm taking the screenshot. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm going to launch the polls for the best speaker and the best table topic speaker. Kapil, just continue like nothing is happening. Okay. Pause only to cast your vote.
Sure. All right. So what else we can do for our club? I discussed about President Distinguished Club. I discussed about Golden Gavel Award. And the highest category award that we have in Toastmaster is Hall of Fame. Now, in Hall of Fame, we have 3 categories of award. One is bronze, one is silver, and other one is gold award. 1 second. Okay. We have 9 goals assigned in this Hall of Fame, and there is a criteria that one needs to get 1 point each in each goal, and collectively, if the total of the points is, let's say, is between 24 to 30, you are eligible for bronze. If your total points is between 31 to 36, you are eligible for silver award. And if you are having 37 plus points, then you will get gold award. Now, what are these 9 goals? So I will just name the header. That is administration, education, give it back, training, contest and judging, retention and promotions, public relations, club growth, and adding new members. Title of these goals is self-explanatory, so I don't think that I need to go in detail. Idea is to give you what we can do for our club in the coming days. Now, this Hall of Fame is not a short-term goal because we know that we will have our challenges. But if we can go step by step, we can definitely achieve this award in the coming, if not months, then in the coming 1 year or two. Let's target for Golden Gavel Award this year, and then probably we will go on from there. I know that this journey will be tough, but as I said that we added few energetic and passionate members last year, and I hope that we will add few more members this year as well, and then this journey will be smooth. So let's travel together in this journey, hold each other's hand to make this journey joyful and memorable. Together we can, and together we will. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to our general evaluator to begin our section number 3, which is evaluation. Over to you, Joyita.
Thank you so much, everyone. What a lovely time. After a long time, I joined this meeting, and all those lovely speeches and the table topics, it made my day. So now let's start our next amazing section of this meeting, that is the evaluation section. So I will start with the evaluation of the speeches. So I would request Sourindra Bhowmick, if you can come and present your evaluation for Elyssa.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Joyita Bhattacharya. Toastmaster Elyssa Schneider. Excuse me. Today, you have taken the words away from me. This is one of the best presentation skill I have ever seen in my life, and I would sincerely request you to send me this video as a memento, which I will always preserve and look at. I do understand the pains that you would have because of your name, because I have also had the same problems. Just one example where my name has been broken up and said sour in the door. So I really felt so sad that someone has made me a sour piece. But coming back to your speech, and let me tell you that as an experiment today, I am doing this evaluation purely extempo. I have not written down anything. And I would like to tell you that Mr. William Shakespeare would have taken a few turns in his grave today, but at the same time, he would be very happy for you, Elyssa, because you have made the point which he was always trying to make in his life. The subtle way in which you were able to bring in and use the presentation skills and the few videos that you had, which made a very strong impact on what you were trying to say. And to me, that is the power of the presentation skills that you have. It is amazing how you have been able to filter through and find those small bits which make joy, happiness, and at the same time, sadness in people's minds when they hear their names mispronounced. As a takeaway, I have learned so much from this speech of yours on how to make a presentation and actually use a video to be able to not only make your point, but to illustrate to the other people that, look, you can have your cake when you actually understand the problems and you understand the empathy. If I leave you with just one recommendation, which is more like nitpicking, I would only make one request, and that is, let those pictures that you were showing be exposed for a couple of seconds more so that it impacts you better. The audience can actually capture it better. Overall, amazing speech, and I'm waiting for that momentum. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now let's move on to our next evaluator, Umar, who will be evaluating for Sheila's speech. Over to you, Umar.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. That was one scary speech, Sheila. We are what we eat. So the next time when I'm eating vanilla ice cream, is it vinyl or is it I'm eating plastic or what? So what a wonderful awareness speech, and everybody learned a lot from your research that you have done on food. What I loved about your speech was you had an opening that is, I call down the memory lane kind of opening. Okay, 10 years back, I was there. So you are dragging us into your world. Okay, I was there and I was having this struggles time with the food and I was had that eating disorder and all that. So that kind of opening, I love it. Secondly, you had your own personal touch to it. Normally, when you have a research kind of a speech, it will have a lot of facts and figures and this and that. You put your own self into it also. So we can, everybody can relate to it. Third, one most important thing also, that is your objective also. You had to do a research. You had facts and figures both covered in well detailed or complete detail, you can say. It was a well-researched speech and you have met your objectives. Congratulations on that. But I always believe there is a room for improvement in every speech. Let's put you in that room. It's a growth room, actually. It's a very good room. Huh? So in that, if I put you, I'll give you some suggestions. First, talking about hand gestures. Normally, when you are sitting and delivering, keep your distance from the camera so we can see your hands completely. You are expressing with your hands and all. Secondly, I would say that you are talking about a lot of scary moments like surprising or relative moments or something. 10 out of 1 out of 10 or something, that surprise look should be there on your face. Your vocal variety, your hand gestures and your facial expression should be incongruous. It should be in sync in order to deliver such kind of thing. Like you are scared, your voice should be scared, your facial expression should be like that, and your body language should translate into it also. Another thing I would like to point out is you could have used presentations, have some slides of facts and figures. Maybe a lot of times you are giving a lot of facts and figures. Maybe it's difficult for the audience to have it sink in ourselves and to be able to understand those. So if you present it in a PowerPoint slides or something, that would have been better. Last but not the least, another small feedback. Speech title. Towards the end of your speech, you talked about the plastic and all. Maybe you could have talked about GMOs as a speech title or something food related or something. Overall, an excellent speech and a thought awareness based speech, and all the best for the next speech, Toastmaster Sheila. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Umar. So now for Anna's speech, Rupinder will be evaluating Anna's speech. Over to you, Rupinder.
Gather around, folks, because today we did not hear a speech. We kind of heard an experience. It was intermixing of feelings. There was nostalgia. There was a dash of humor. There was a feeling of longing. And that wave of empathy that Toastmaster Anna created pervaded this virtual room as well. Nice, intriguing opening. And I would actually yell at the check master for not spotlighting you in time. But the best part was that when you were actually spotlighted, I've seen a lot of speakers get distracted. You did not. You just carried on as if nothing had happened. The world had not changed, as you mentioned in your speech. I loved your arm gestures, the way your arms spoke, and they evoked the same emotions as your vocal variety did. And that is my next recommendation, your next commendation. The way your vocal variety flowed throughout the speech. The audience was there at the highs and the lows, and how to carry a speech using vocal variety. You aptly demonstrated that. Now, in a speech that was so good, what could possibly be better? I literally had to do nitpicking here because the whole speech caused so much frisson. I was hooked, pretty sure the audience was hanging on to every word, but I was able to find 2 areas of opportunity. And in one of them, I'm actually transgressing on the domain of the grammarian because you said COVIDness, which to me was a cute word, which was a nice word, but I thought COVIDness, what is COVIDness? Now we have a new measure now. Probably would not have gone with that because it kind of conveys a negative feeling. Just from that perspective, that COVIDness is a new negative word. I did not would have used something else. The other one that I want you to work on, Anna, is camera angles. So the way you were sitting was literally like this. So your top half of the head was getting cut off and your face was literally in the camera while you were speaking. And your hands that were doing such a wonderful job of complementing your oratory skills were getting subdued. So I could feel that the hands are doing the talking, but they were not coming on the screen that often. So probably just sitting a little bit back so that the audience can see you in your entirety and your hands get to do a lot more. So probably you want to focus on that. The essence of speech are 3 things: ethos, logos, pathos. Ethos is integrity, logos is logic, and pathos is passion. Successful speeches have more than 60% pathos in them. Today, I saw it 100%. Thank you, Anna, for sharing that experience with us. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Rupinder. Now, this is the time we need to call upon our tag team members who will tell us the time taken and the accounts and the grammarians. I would prefer to start with grammarians first. So Sumit can take the timing for grammarians as well. So over to you, Jim.
Thank you for that. Wow, we have such good speakers today. I was still able to nitpick, in the words of Sourindra and Rupinder. So let's start at the beginning. Sheila, in her introduction about the rules, she said, role players, please rename yourself as role player and name. Now, that is actually telling us to literally type the word role player and then our name. But that's not what she meant. So remember, whenever we speak, the grammar, okay, we have good grammar, bad grammar, as long as you are not able to be misunderstood. I think that is the key. And that is what I learned from a master when I was at work in the 1980s, because I kept changing everybody's English. To nitpick further, gluten. Now, the speaker said gluten is what makes food taste good. And that to me sounds like it's something you add in, like sugar. We add sugar in, so sugar is what makes food taste good. But in fact, gluten is a protein, and it's part of foods. It's part of grains, such as wheat and barley. So that could lead to misunderstanding, like MSG. MSG is something we add in, and that's bad for you. And people might get the impression, okay, gluten is something that you add in, and we can not add in if we don't want it. Some good use of English. I can't say her name. Miss Schneider. She had a lot of rhymes, didn't she? And I like the way she progressed. She said unique and unpronounceable. And then later she said unpronounceable to unforgettable. And that was a link there, a callback. And that was quite delightful. We had some interesting phrases: brain fog, crippling fatigue, wipe down for germs. Now, whenever I hear the word germs, I'm thinking, hold on, is it germs? Is it bacteria? Is it virus? So was the use of the word germs correct? It is correct. Germs is the big set, if you like, and virus and bacteria are subsets of germs. So well done, Anna, for that. Anna was also the only one to use the word of the day, frisson, which I spent a lot of time trying to figure out because it's excitement to do with the theme of the day, new beginnings. Whenever we use language as well, especially on our screens, I saw this phrase, be the chess piece. Can anybody figure out what I'm talking about? Be the chess piece. So if you have words across your screen, truncate it because you know where you're going to sit, and don't hide any words. Like hope. Hope has the word hope hanging in the background, and I can see that clearly, and I'm not banging my head against the wall trying to figure out what it says. Now I have to call out Hope and Ahmed because their pace was excellent. I could understand and hear the words perfectly, even though they have different accents, because the pace was so deliberate, so slow, the words were correctly pronounced. So well done, Ahmed and Hope. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Jean. Now I'd like to request Sumit, can you please present your report? Sorry, the R counter. I would like to request our counter, please come up and present your report first.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I will take the liberty to share my screen. So just give me a minute. Please confirm you are able to look at the screen. Okay, so this is the heat map that was generated for the R's and the ums. Sheila started out well, 0 R's and ums, and there are a lot of greens if you look at it. Our main culprits today have been and There were 26 of them in total, and followed by repetition, which there were 8 in all. And then we had wrong pauses that were 7 in total. The interesting thing is that in my experience as R counter, I often see repetitions being in the double figures and up there competing at times, beating the R's and the ums and the ers. But I think we did a wonderful job, and for that we all kind of deserve an applause. Areas of improvement, if I was to go by the individual speakers, I would ask Kapil to work on his R's, ums, and R's and ums. Joyita, probably want to work on your repetitions. Coming to Amit. Amit, there's a marked use of R's in your speech, so you might want to take care of that. Pratima, you're a new speaker, but for a new speaker, 4 is not at all a bad number. I remember in my first speech when I gave, I had 19 hours and 36 sums, and I looked at the hour counter and I said, you seriously need to get a life. This hour counter also needs to get a life. We had a total of 41 use of filler words. Next time when I become an hour counter, we'll see how much we have improved or not improved. With that, I give it back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Rupinder. Now I'd like to request Sumit to present your report. Over to you, Sumit.
So, our first speaker today took 7 minutes 27 seconds. So she qualified for the awards. Sheila go overboard and she took 8 minutes and 37 seconds. Anna Whistler took 6 minutes and 50 seconds for her speech. In our table topic sections, Pratima, our first speaker, took 2 minutes and 35 seconds, so which is a little bit overboard, but that's the confusion. She is standing for the first time, attending for the first time, and she probably did not know when to end. So that's good. That's probably, I would say, qualify, because there were a lot of confusions around. Hope Williams took 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Ahmad Abdullah took 2 minutes. Raj Mehta took 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Sarika Chaudhary took 1 minute 25 seconds. Jim took 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Khushboo took 1 minute and 45 seconds. In evaluation, Sourindra sir took 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Umar Farooq took 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And Rupinder took again 3 minutes and 20 seconds. In grammar section, I tried to stretch a little bit in terms of I wanted to give more time, as we were listening quite a good understanding about how we can do better. So I started showcasing my cards a little later. So Jim took 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and our counter took 1 minute and 45 seconds. Over to you, Joyita.
Thank you so much, Sumit. So now I have a long way to speak on all these pointers that I have noted today. Before that, let's vote for the best auxiliary role players. So I will start with Elyssa. Elyssa started our meeting on time and very beautiful smile. She engaged us and energized the meeting throughout the time. And then she hand over this meeting to Sumit, our new PO. Many congratulations for your new role as a VP Education. You greeted the guest, and with a great introduction, you hand over the virtual stage to Kapil. Kapil, very confidently, you started your speech with greeting the new and old EC members and presented the achievements of our club. Then you talked on the importance of the agile, how we can adopt this in the Toastmaster meeting as well. And while seeing your confidence during your speech, I can see that the very classy corporate leader in you. Very smooth way you have made the transition from one section to the another section of this meeting. Wishing you all the very best for your role as a president of this club. And my one recommendation, as you were explaining the hours, different hours of our club, then you should show some visual aids so that audience can easily memorize that in future as well. Now moving on to our, just a moment. Now I'd like to evaluate our speech evaluators. So I will start with Sourindra sir. So the best presentation skill of Elyssa. that way you have started, and you did not prepare yourself. It was completely a extempo kind of thing, and you presented well. I believe Elyssa can understand very impactfully all the words that you have mentioned for her, and also the recommendation part that you have noted here. Now I'd like to move to Umar. You started your evaluation with a great reaction towards the speech. You took the examples from all from the speeches and let the speaker know all the good parts of her speech, and very smoothly you started the recommendation part, and you provided 2 to 3 points to the speakers. So I think that that would be helpful our speaker when she will deliver her next speech. Then I'd like to evaluate Rupinder's evaluation. So very nice way you have started. This was not a speech, it was an experience of Anna. So it was very touchy speech altogether. And then you have not only took the examples of the speakers, of the speeches, but you have mentioned all the hand gesture and the vocal variety, that how she engaged the audience. And also you mentioned all the pointers, the recommendation part, where she can make the improvement in her next speeches. And you have very nicely explained the camera angles that she can set for her next speech as well. Now I'd like to move on to our TTM, Amit. Very, without any wasting of time, you have started the table topics. You provided very good topics, and mostly those are from the memories. So I think audience well connected with you, and speakers spoke well on each one of the topics. Very nice. Thank you, Amit. Now I'd like to move on to the different speakers of the table topics who presented very nicely all the topics that those are given to them. I will start with Pratima, your reaction to your first Toastmaster meeting. And very nicely you have started speaking on the reaction, and you mentioned that what grab your attention in the first meeting, when that is the humorous part of that meeting. And you mentioned that how things are fascinated you, the eye contact, how the vocal variety will happen. So everything you'd like to learn, and you are at the correct place, and many congratulations to you for joining the Toastmaster Club. Now I'd like to move on to Hope. So Hope, this is very nice topic was given to you. That is your first day in your school. I was thinking that you must be taking some examples from your school day, but you changed the topic entirely. You talked about the school of life, and this is very important. Most of the time we are thinking the struggles and the challenges of our school, of our life. But you mentioned that the school of life means whatever the challenge or obstacle will come on your way, you will focus on the learning part of it. And you took the example of your time when you went to Washington, and how you learned everything, and how you can manage your day-to-day life there. Thank you so much for very inspiring speech from you, Hope. Now I'd like to move on. Ahmed, that is every moment is the fresh beginning. So this is very true for all of us. And you started with your weakness, that your phobia for the public speaking, but that did not stop you to move ahead, but rather you focused on that how you can improve yourself, and you did not strict yourself there, and you thought behind that how to help others as well to be excel in this area of public speaking. So inspiring. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Then I'd like to move on to Raj Mehta. So this is something, the topic given to you, it is very close to my heart as well, when I am seeing my kids when they took their first step. And it was always there in our mind, and the happiness that you depicted during your speech, I could see the real time show. I think I could see the way you explained each and every point, you acted out that what was your first reaction. It was amazing. Thank you so much, Raj. Then I'd like to move on, Sarika. So obstacle of your past can become the gateway to a new learning. Although you were driving today, but you did not stop yourself to speak on your table topic. So you mentioned that how you wanted to complete your doctorate degree even after 20 years of that, and you have started revising that, and you want to start with a fresh mind that to achieve that milestone. Now I'd like to okay, now our next speaker was, be willing to start new, beginning when you woke up in the morning. So Jean, you inspired us with that what should be our focus. Okay, whenever we are thinking something new, we should know what is happening in the real life and what is happening in the workplace, and we should be well versed with all those things in our life. Now I'd like to move on, Khushboo. Your first reaction when you got your job, but you mentioned that job were not meant for you and you are not meant for job. However, you have started your job and you became the HR of your organization, and you sent one message to all of us that whatever you plan may not be happen like that, but you should be fit yourself to the flow of the life. Thank you so much, Khushboo, for giving us such a wonderful line of the day. Um, Now I'd like to move on to our auxiliary role players. So I start with Jim. Jim, you have shared a word of the day today at the beginning of the meeting. I think you can show the count how many times that team mentioned that word or did not mention that word, so that that thing will come into the speaker that okay, from the next meeting we should take the count or mention that okay, this word did not spoke. And you have noted all the grammar usages properly and provided the appropriate usage where the speakers would mention it correctly. And it was a very detailed report from your end, but one recommendation, but if you can share use some visual aids so that audience can connect to that easily and can understand that what is the improvement part and what can be applied for the next speech. Then coming to Rupinder, you have used the visual aids to present the report. It's really great way to motivate the speaker to work on their weaknesses. Thank you so much, Rupinder, for that. And now let's move on to Sumit. Sumit, you presented the detailed report, the timings you have presented for all the speakers very well. And you have shown the cards properly to all the speakers, but another same recommendation to you, if you could show the visual aid so that people can understand and remember that thing. And lastly but not least, this is regarding the audience. All the participants for this meeting maintain the great decorum of this meeting, and thank you so much to every one of you. Now I'm handing over it to Kapil. Over to you, Kapil.
Thank you, Joyita. We are almost on the top of the hour, so I won't take much time. So I would say that it was pleasure serving as your team mod of the day. So thank you all. See you next week. And now I would like to turn over to Sumit, who is our presiding officer today.
Am I audible?
You're audible.
Yeah. So we had almost 7 guests today, and it's a wonderful meeting where we came to meet a lot of new faces today also. We had grandma of mom of Elyssa, Farooq Kenny. She's right now not here, but that's a new addition to our list today, and we have several new additions in terms of guests today. we had Ahmad Abdul. Ahmad, would you like to share some feedback with us?
Yes, sure. Well, I'm glad to be here. This is an amazing club, and the quality of meeting is really good, and the speakers were amazing. The evaluators and the way the meeting was conducted was superb. I really not only enjoyed, connected, but I also learned a lot. Thank you.
Jim, you are not a guest right now, but I think you comes as a guest, but you are a more like a family member now. So we would like to hear from you your point of view on our meeting.
Yeah, it's good that we start on time and everyone is here. All the role players were here and everybody is happy and lively with big smiles and energy. And that really lifts the meeting up from the average. Back to you.
Okay. Next, we have Sarika Chaudhary. I think she has joined for the first time. I have seen her for the first time. We would like to hear from her. The word of advice, how can we do better in the future?
Hi, Toastmaster Sumit. It was Umar who actually sends me this, and I was curious to know as to who's that Toastmaster meeting at 7:45 in the morning. And I don't know, is this club based in India?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so it was only curiosity that led me to this, and I was on my way to college, and I thought, okay, let me connect to the Bluetooth and just listen to the speeches, not really participating. But I am glad because I got so many ideas today listening to people, the way they have structured their speech, the amazing manner in which evaluation was given. So I think I'm taking a lot of takeaways from this meeting. So thank you, Umar, and thank you, Toastmasters, for having me here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarika, for this word of encouragement for us. We are a bunch of highly motivated Toastmasters who wake up early in the morning to attend this.
Yeah, I can see that. I can actually see that. And it's amazing. Thank you.
We would like to have you again because though it's early morning, but I think you are also looking to be very, very motivated Toastmaster.
Oh, yes, I have to start my classes. I teach in a college, so I have to be up whether I like it or I don't like it.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Umar, we would like to hear from you, though you have played multiple roles already in this Toastmaster. You are like a guest, but like a family also. Can you please share some advice with us?
Thank you, Sumit. What a wonderful meeting. We learned about new beginnings, we learned about changes, and we learned about how to create a speech out of names, just your own name, and such a wonderful meeting it was. I love the table topics and evaluations. All the evaluators were very good. And the general evaluation, Joeta did such a thorough evaluation from start to finish, from suggestion terms, lot of learnings. And Jim's Grammarian Report, after some time I have listened to such a good Grammarian Report, thorough, and Rupinder's counter. Each and every role player did well, stepped up their game, and it was great to be part of this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Umar. I thoroughly enjoyed your evaluation. A lot of learning from you also. Hope, William, will you like to come up next and share a few words of advice with us?
Yes, thank you. I am a guest of Elyssa. I am still acclimating myself to the proper pronunciation, and I just want to bring grand acclaim. I've never been to such a thorough Toastmasters as far as the counter and grammarian. I'm going to take that list. I will drop my email in the chat. I am thoroughly impressed. I'm at a loss of words, which doesn't happen to myself. Jim, the thoroughness, I'm really at a loss of words. This is a very, very great club. I've learned a lot, and I hope to visit regularly. Since you meet so early, it works for myself because I'm located in Hawaii. So it's only going on 6 in the evening for myself. So I love your time selection. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Hope. I think we would like you to be a regular member from now on, but regular, not member, but guest. If you want to turn into a member, that would be most welcome. And excuse me for some of the noise from the background. That was my wife, Anshu, and she is also a Toastmaster at this same meeting. And she would, one of us come to the meeting because we have to take other things as responsibility. So she would, you probably will watch her next time. Raj, you are a family member already, and please share your thought process, how we can do better in future.
Yeah, thank you, Sumit. First of all, I would like to say sorry because I was not able to join the meeting in time, but believe me, it was not my fault. I got stuck in my building itself on the ground floor. There was a car standing on the passage. I could not. I had to call the driver of that car, and that car was required to be pushed away to some other location. Then only I could enter on my floor and start my meeting. But by that time, I had missed the speech. Thank you, Rupinder, for giving the evaluation to an listener, sorry. And I also thank the Toastmaster for giving me the opportunity, whereby I could come up with my emotions, and I'm still at the nostalgia that how could I brought up, bring up people to this age. And it has been a great meeting. I missed speeches. So today I have decided that whenever I will take a role, whether it is a speaker or an evaluator, I shall stop the car on the way, do the role on the way, whether it is on the road or in the car, and then only I will come to my office and do the attend the rest of the meeting. Thank you very much.
Great learning, I think. Every day is a learning day. It's a new day every day. So last but not the least, we have Pratima Razdan, who has just joined us as a regular member. Join me and in welcoming her, and we would hear more such more speeches from her as we go along. Pratima, would you like to say something?
I don't think she's there.
So I think we are. Yeah,
oh, but she's there. She's there. Just saw her.
You're on a mute, Pratima. On mute.
I'm unable to hear you. Could you please repeat?
I'm just saying that the first you have recently joined us. You have shared a Toastmaster speech already on how you're feeling today. Any word of advice from you, and how we can hear more from you and in the coming meetings?
I'm not able to hear. I don't know.
Pratima, am I audible to you?
Yes, I can hear Rupinder.
So he said that we are delighted to have you on board as a new member, and thank you for participating in the table topics. Is there anything that you would like to comment on as a freshly minted member of Blue Quest?
Okay, I am equally delighted to be here. And it was a wonderful session. And actually, it's been pointed out by everyone. So my work is done because Hope, Jim, and everyone, Umar, everyone has actually spoken wonderful words about this club. And it is totally resonating with me. I just had one point of suggestion, if that's okay. I really like the word of the day, which was frizzle, right? Okay, so just a little point of recommendation over here is if it could be told whether it's a noun or an adverb, so that we can, incorporate it in our speeches, so that we get an idea of how to use it, because it's an entirely new word for us. So that would be my only point of recommendation. If it could be told whether it's a noun or an adverb, adjective, or probably if we could have a sentence also, like how to use it. So it's going to really help newbies like me and others. That's all. Thank you.
That's on me, Pratima. I was supposed to design a poster around it, and I had it like a week ago, I did not. So that is on me. And most assuredly, I will take care of it. Good morning, Hope. This is going to end very soon, so relax. May I request everyone to turn on their cameras and do we have any guests remaining? Are we done with the guests? Sumit?
Guest list and over to them.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen so that we can talk about the certificate. So I would like everybody to turn on their cameras and microphones so that turn off the, as in turn on the microphones as well, so that we can applaud and clap and celebrate the victories for today. Now, this is something that we've kind of come up with. This is our automatic certificate generator. May I request cameras to be on, please, and microphones to be on as well, so that we can really celebrate. Thank you. One thing that I decided to start in some of my clubs and in this club. See, there was a long-standing tradition that we had in Toastmasters that every time somebody gave their first speech, they would get a standing ovation. Now, for some of us, it is difficult to stand up and start clapping. So I thought that we were going to have a standing ovation certificate, and not just for the first speech, but every time somebody played a role for the first time in this club. So I'm delighted to say that we have our very first standing ovation certificate, and this goes to the person who did a table topic for the first time. Many congratulations, Pratima Razdan.
Yay! Congratulations.
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 Thank you, everyone.
Now, moving on to the top 3 table topic speakers. Let us start with the third best, a familiar name in there. He would have been an evaluator today, but he decided to make his mark as a table topic speaker. Many congratulations, Raj Mehta.
Thank you.
And every time he comes on to the table topic stage, he is in the top 3. So for people like him and Naveen Parwal, we should probably have a lifetime achievement award in table topics. But for now, many congratulations, Jim Vaughn.
Oh.
It is said that the early bird catches the worm, but there is also a phrase about burning the midnight oil. It is not midnight where she lives, but I'm pretty sure that she could party with this till the midnight. Many congratulations, Hope Williams, for winning the Best Table Topic Speaker Award.
Thank you. I'm so honored.
The Best Speech Evaluator today delivered his evaluation impromptu. Not that I'm a fan of delivering speech evaluations impromptu, but I'm a fan of pushing the value of excellence, and he did it with Elan. Many congratulations, Sourindra Bhowmick, distinguished.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Experiment worked.
Experiment did work. Now, coming to our best auxiliary role player. Well, when you have a word of the day, which is frisson, there is very little that the other role players can do, can they? Many congratulations, Jim Vaughn.
Yay. Yes, well deserved.
Amazing.
Then the best role player. Well, this was closely contested between the general evaluator and the Toastmaster of the meeting. But in the end, there can be only one winner. As I say, it wasn't a tie, I can tell you that. So many congratulations, Kapil. Good job done.
Go couple.
Thank you.
As for the best speaker, she's gone through a lot of pain to explain to you how to pronounce her name. I hope next time we will all take care. Many congratulations, Elyssa Schneider. I will stop the sharing of the screen now. I will tell you that that next week I am playing the role of the Toastmaster of the meeting host, and the theme is, are you fat? are you fat? Okay, I'm already getting started with the 3. But do come, Elyssa Schneider, and I'm deliberately taking her name right because I do not want her giving me any negative comments, is the general evaluator for next week. We have a few roles that are not completed, but for now I'm going to stop the recording, and now we can discuss informally. If anybody wants to